Has someone ever listened to you so fully and so presently that it affected the way you felt about yourself? Or on the flip side, have you ever been halfway through a story and realized the other person checked out a little bit ago? You may as well have been talking to a wall. Well, today I want to talk about one of the most underrated, soul shaping practices in our spiritual lives. It's listening, not just hearing the words, but being present. And I'll show you how slowing down to truly listen can change your relationships, your pace of life, and even your relationship with God. Hi, I'm Jem Fadling from Unhurried Living, and I help people like you slow down just a little bit on the inside so we can live from that place fruitfully and abundantly. If you're feeling rushed, unseen, or like the noise of the world is drowning out what really matters, this video is for you. Today, we're going to explore how deep spiritual listening is one of the clearest ways to love others. I'll share a 5-part method to help you grow in this, plus 3 action steps you can start using today. So let's dig in. Have you ever been talking with someone and as they listened, you felt like you were the only person in the room? No phones, no multitasking, just presence. The kind of presence is a gift. It's rare and it's memorable. On the other hand, you've probably experienced what it's like when someone's eyes dart away or they keep glancing at the time. You can feel when someone's not really with you. Pastor and author David Augsburger wrote this: "Being heard is so close to being loved that for the average person, they are almost indistinguishable." He also wrote, "An open ear is the only believable sign of an open heart." Listening is one of the purest ways we express love. It slows us down, it centers us, and places the focus on someone else's story. So what would it look like for you to slow down your inner pace as you converse with someone else? Well, here are a few ways you can practice being present, and you can start listening more deeply to another person. So when someone else is talking, try this. Begin to quiet your mind as you listen. We all struggle with distractions, but begin to practice setting aside your own inner whirlwind for just a little bit and let the life of the person in front of you come to center stage. Quiet your mind and tune into what they're actually saying, and then try to just be at rest in their presence. Next, maybe let God's love for the person enter into your own heart. This is the time for empathy. Remind yourself that this person is loved by God exactly as they are, and then let His reality become yours. As you listen, you can let your heart fill with love for them. Whatever they share, you know that God is already there. God is accomplishing His work in their life, even if they don't know it. You can be a conduit for God's love by opening yourself to Him as you listen to the other person. And this one, everyone really enjoys, actually. We don't talk about it much, but resist the temptation to problem solve. Most people don't want to be fixed. They just want to be heard. So it's easy for us to move directly into problem solving or advice giving mode. Just watch out for this tendency. Most people truly just want to be seen and heard, as I said. They are talking things out. Then what's good about that actually is that they can often stumble on their own solution, which is the best way to learn. But even if they don't, your humble listening ear is still a gift they may not find anywhere else. So don't rob them of the beauty of simply sharing their life with you. Next, you can think about what God might have on His heart for this person. Listen to the person and at the same time listen to the Spirit. This is kind of an art form and it is very spiritual directionish, but I am a spiritual director, so I think everyone can try this on. As you listen, remain open to the heart of God. How might God feel toward this person? What might God desire for their life? This really helps with our ability to not fix people. Just receive people as they are and where they are and listen and learn. Right? If you're going to respond, I think it's good to respond with invitations and questions as opposed to hard fixes and goals. So when you respond, try to do so in a way that shows you really heard them. You can let your response be filtered through the question again, what would God desire for them? For example, you could replace with, you know what you need to do, with, what do you think God is inviting you to do in this situation? See, they're 2 different questions, and it invites the person to go on a soul search. And then you can give them space to thoughtfully respond. This, of course, is an example of a focused time of sharing maybe with a friend or family member. Obviously, there are different levels of conversation that we have with many different people throughout the day. You don't always have the time to pause and deeply empathize and listen, but you could do it in a brief way anywhere. You can adapt these ideas to any level of conversation with friends, family, coworkers, and even a casual exchange with the cashier at the grocery store can be an opportunity to practice being present, engaging with them, listening well, and offering up a silent prayer for them maybe. I was at Trader Joe's once a few years ago, and I actually had a conversation with a person, and I looked them in the eye, and this person was actually shared with me how often that doesn't happen. She said people are looking at their phones, they're doing something else. They don't even acknowledge her presence. And it felt good for her to know that someone acknowledged that she existed and looked her in the eye and chatted with at least a little bit of heart in the middle of the day in a grocery store. So I just think this goes a long way in giving a good gift to other people. And here's the other additional really good news. You don't need a counseling degree or hours of free time to practice this. You can just try it out with anyone on any given day, like I just shared at Trader Joe's. The practice of listening can teach us to slow down inside, to focus our thoughts, to be humble, and to defer to others. Listening can help us to learn that we don't always have to be on, we don't have to fix people. God Himself is working with people in their lives, and we can just be friends, mentors, influencers, as we cooperate with God, what God is already doing. So this kind of listening builds trust. It communicates dignity. It transforms ordinary conversations into sacred moments. So here come 3 action steps. I like to give some version of an action step or a journal prompt so that you can take action here. So let's try to put this into practice. Here are 3 things you can try this week. Choose one conversation to be fully present in. It might be with a spouse, a child, coworker, a friend. Put your phone down. Don't multitask. Just be there. And you can follow along with some of the ideas I gave earlier. Number 2, pray for God's heart before you speak. Before giving advice or jumping in, take a breath and silently ask, God, how do you see this person? How do you want me to see them? Number 3, ask a thoughtful, open-ended question. Instead of solving, offer empathy and further an invitation to share more. You could say, that must feel heavy. What has that been like for you? You're really just trying to feel with the person and keep the door open so they could share more of their heart if they want to. And then you are just a loving, willing vessel holding space for people. The world is noisy. People are rushing. But when you slow down and really listen, you become a living reflection of God's love. Isaiah 50 says, the sovereign Lord has given me a well-instructed tongue to know the word that sustains the weary. He wakens me morning by morning, wakens my ear to listen like one being instructed. The sovereign Lord has opened my ears. So let God awaken your ears too. Peace to you as you practice the sacred gift of listening, and blessings to you as you make your way. Okay, before you go, if you'd like a free downloadable version of these guidelines or action steps, you can go to unhurriedliving.com/listen, and there's also a link in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more content like this, and click the notification bell so you'll know when we drop any new content. I love connecting with intentional people just like you.